Hello everybody, I'm Wren and I love bad protagonists. To help me discuss this topic, my feature media for the video will be the TV miniseries Agatha All Along from Marvel Television. The reason I have picked this show is because even when she's stripped of all of her powers and memories of being a coven-killing, self-absorbed, power-hungry witch, the Agatha Harkness that is left over is still an asshole.
Total loser or totally lying?
Which brings us back to the title of this video. I love bad protagonists. Villain Protagonist, if we want to use the common trope title. There is an increasingly common idea that to be the protagonist, be the main character, means being the hero. And obviously heroes are just that. Heroic-minded people, or at least people who will do the right thing under pressure, or have the greater good in mind even when their methods of reaching it are too violent for most people's comfort. All Protagonist has ever really meant is main character. It's not at all surprising that people consider it synonymous with heroes, however, since so many popular stories do position their main characters as morally good or heroic beings. In response came the rise of the term Villain Protagonist, to differentiate between a classic good with a capital G leaning protagonist, and protagonists who are, well, villains. People who don't care about doing the right thing, and don't strive for greater good despite their unheroic traits, in the way that the anti-heroes they are sometimes confused with do. These characters and the tales they weave are often interesting because they have to walk a fine line that many authors don't bother to consider when writing more run-of-the-mill protagonists. The line between a capital B bad protagonist and an unlikable one. There was a quote I saw once in the unsearchable hellscape of Tumblr that went something to the tune of, "A character can be an evil, morally bankrupt monster, but they cannot be annoying." There are plenty of reasons to watch a villainous protagonist, from the power fantasy of watching them win, to the catharsis of watching the character destroy themselves or be destroyed by others. But none of those reasons matter if the writing of the protagonist just kinda sucks. Now, I have already called Agatha an asshole, and I'm sure that most of her ad hoc coven wouldn't hesitate to call her annoying if asked. It is because of these traits that I think Agatha All Along makes such a great example to use when talking about this trope. Agatha is never not an asshole mass murderer focused on powering up and protecting herself in the long run. This is true from the depths of her backstory to her present day. Yet people still sit and watch because the show uses a handful of very well executed yet straightforward strategies to get us invested in her and her story, even though her personality and actions could otherwise be found repellent.
Witches like you are the reason people think we poison apples and steal children and eat babies.
Babies are delicious.
Right off the bat, one of the first strategies they employed was hiring Catherine Hahn. A villain protagonist needs charisma, whether it's the type that would suck up all the air in the room, or the type that makes them so pathetic they need to be studied for science. You don't necessarily need star power like Han, but you do need to know the vibe you are going for and find someone who can project that energy. The next most straightforward thing they do is put Agatha at rock bottom. Actually, in a way, they start the whole main cast at rock bottom.
What witch in her right mind would join Agatha Harkness's coven?
Not looking for right-minded witches, as it happens.
Not every villain protagonist can manage this so succinctly, but any media that is part of a collection or series that has previously shown the character being a threat can do this by showing them either pre-villainy or post-defeat.
Oh, I don't have time for this! Just blast me, you bitches!
This is because two common overarching plots for villain protagonists are 1. Watching their descent into villainy, or 2. Watching an already villainous character throw themselves down a path that feels like it can only end with doom, for them or the world, or redemption, When a character starts at the bottom, it can be harder to discern which path their story will take from the get-go, which makes it all the more compelling to watch as they build themselves up. No matter a character's background, people love to watch an underdog try to win and grow some fangs. But they love it even more if there is something sympathetic about the underdog. Like, say, revealing that the main character is a mother whose child is mysteriously lost to her, just as she is forced to interact with another child. Agatha All Along doesn't just rely on a hint of sympathetic backstory, though. The story takes it one step further by introducing the mystery of teens' true identity. Introducing a few mysteries to a story with a villain protagonist is a great way to keep people engaged despite a possibly off-putting point of view character, because even if people aren't interested in connecting with the protagonist, they may still be interested in finding answers.
You're so much like your mother.
By having parallel mysteries as to what happened to Agatha's child, and a child we don't know the origin of and who cannot be recognized by other witches, the show creates an extra layer of tension designed to keep your attention, especially when you're also questioning how Rio fits into all of it. It's here, by the way. She fits here. Then to round things out, Agatha All Along is also, in part, a comedy. A dark one, for sure.
So, what's the problem now?
A woman is dead, Agatha.
Yes, and Alice and Teen are kindly digging a grave for her. So they'll catch up when they can. Vamonos!
But still a comedy, which gives a nice insulating layer for the audience to wrap themselves in. Even when Agatha is saying or doing objectively mean, bad, or evil things, it helps remind them that this is a fiction, an absurd exaggeration of evil for the purposes of entertainment, without requiring a major break in immersion that forces people to disengage with the story. The humor, as it does in most stories, also provides a tension release, for when the more dramatic, serious-minded parts of the story become too much, which allows the audience to catch their breath. The reason I love stories with bad guy protagonists is because they present a particular kind of challenge that forces their creators to hold themselves to a stricter standard than they might otherwise approach a project with. This means a lot of them are extremely compelling entertainment for anyone looking to have a good time. Simultaneously, they are great for anyone looking to develop their storytelling skills to study, because you don't have to throw yourself in the deep end identifying and breaking down how different themes are raised and interrogated by the text. You can just start with, how does this story keep me invested in this dickhead of a character?
Can you actually jot that down for me?
I also have this theory that villain protagonists, and villains in general, tend to have a firmer illusion of agency within their texts than the heroic characters are often given, which makes them more entertaining to watch, but that feels like its own video topic. Let me know if you'd like to hear more. Or just let me know some of your favorite villainous protagonists down below. Thank you for watching this far. If you liked this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next video, keep practicing hope, and don't be afraid to get punk about it.